Hi everybody! Today I'm going to be going through my file where I keep all my completed pages that are loose, PDFs I've printed out and things like that, and I'm afraid this might run to be a long one, or I might actually have to split it up into two parts because there is, you can see a lot more than I remembered there being in this folder. So also, before I go on, my voice is a little bit croaky today. I've got a bit of a cold that's going around, but if you can forgive me that, then let's get started. Okay, this first one is one that I wasn't really sure whether I should put in or not because I don't know who the artist is. But, this was from a colouring magazine that my mum had way back in 2019 when I first started colouring, so I didn't write down any information at all, but it looks to me like it's one of those kind of Shutterstock pictures you can get off the internet. So if anybody does know the artist, then please let me know and I will acknowledge them. But yeah, this is the first one that's in the file. So yeah, and this one was done with Staedtler Norris pencils because that's what my mum had at the time. No markers because I didn't have them at the time. But yeah, just the pencils, and I've done some little bit of embellishments with the 3D paint from Dovecraft, and I got that out so you can see what I mean. Yep, that's the bottle there. That's the stuff, and it dries kind of hard and raised up off the surface, and it's a little bit kind of shimmery. I presume like liquid pearls along those lines. And there is, I've noticed glitter glue on the blue parts of her hair there as well. So yeah, that's the first one. Alright, moving on. This one is by Kelly O'Gorman, and this one was for a Halloween contest. Oh yeah, there it is. Creepy Colouring Collaboration Facebook event from a year or so ago, 2019 again. And this is where a load of artists gave images for people to colour on Facebook. And you could have a chance of winning prizes if you coloured them in. And this is the first one I did for the event. It's on watercolour paper, so I'm guessing there's a lot of watercolour backing going on there. And the background is, as you can tell, my usual method of painting with instant coffee, which I thought would fit the kind of creepy vibe of this one. The rest, I'm not entirely sure if this is when I first got my Arteza pencils. September 19, I really can't remember. October 19 even, like I said, I'll work out my months eventually. Oh, a bit of white gel pen there, and presumably some glitter, but I can't see any, to be honest. I think I did go in and go over these lines again with a black fine liner because I lost the lines a bit by doing those wings black. But yeah, basically just watercolour and pencils on that one, I'm thinking. And instant coffee for the background. There we go, second one. Next is another one for the creepy colouring contest. There we go, and this one is by Kim White. And I think this one was pretty much just pencils. Yeah, no marker base, so just pencils. I had an attempt at making a kind of marble effect around this archway. One of my very first attempts. A bit of a lighting effect going on there. There's glitter glue on her sleeve. And looking at this one, I'm thinking it might still be when I was working with my Zencolor pencils. Because I don't recognise this pink from any other sets. But yeah. There we go, that one by Kim White on Creepy Colouring Collaboration. Next, this one that I'm really not happy with. This one, if she can focus, there we go, was for a contest on Instagram way back in 2019. The image, I think, is from Mazja Vandenberg from her Mazja's Christmas colouring book. And there was a contest going on to win the book, I think, where you had to colour in this image. And for some reason, I printed it out onto paper that's meant for chalk pastels. And instead of just abandoning it and starting again on decent paper, I persisted and it just would not go right. The original idea was because she had this fancy design at the bottom there to make the angel look like she was inside a snow globe. But the paper wasn't working with pencils, it wasn't working with paint or anything really. I think I did end up using gouache paint and silver gel pen from the looks of it, maybe some white gel pen to try and yeah, fill in the angel. There's no shading because the paper really wasn't working with me. The background also gouache paint, I think, with white gel pen. That might be gold gel pen, I'm thinking, gold glitter gel pen. A little bit of white gel pen to make the snow falling around her in a snow globe. And yeah, I am really not happy with this one. I ended up having to cut her out from the paper I printed her onto because around the edges were a mess where the paint was splurging out and leaking, and yeah, it just wasn't working. So I mounted her on this glitter card and put some washi tape on it in a kind of attempt to make her look presentable, but yeah, really not happy with that one. But I am showing everything, so there we go. Masje Vandenberg Angel. I think this other one is also from Masje Vandenberg. Yes, it is. This is another image from the Christmas colouring book, I think. And this is another Facebook contest for Lost in Colouring Facebook group, I think. Lost in Colouring Worldwide it's called now. Used to be Lost in Colouring UK, but now it's worldwide. And this is another image for that contest. And this one definitely is the Xenicolor pencils with gold gel pen. And I was pretty stuck on this one because back in the time I didn't have much clue about colouring effects or metal or anything other than people, really. People is what I still really enjoy colouring. But we have this car, and I tried to make him look a little bit shiny. I tried that, and because my pencils weren't really working with this paper and looked really faded, I went with a vintage kind of Christmas postcard idea, and I tried to make it look like it's folded and creased. I think I've gotten a bit better at doing that now, but these were my attempts back in the day to look really old, aged, vintage Christmas postcard, and I quite like the colour combination, to be honest. My gold combo has worked a lot better now. I've worked out what I'm doing with that, but at the time I was pretty pleased with this because it was really outside my comfort zone. I didn't know what I was doing, and I had a good go, and yeah, that was for Masje Vandenberg. Colouring book, Masje's Christmas. All the information's on the bottom there. There we go. But this one was actually a freebie for a colouring contest at the time. Alright, this next one was also for a Facebook contest, I think. Yeah, go by Joe Johnson. And I actually won the contest. I won a colouring book for colouring this one, so I was quite pleased with this. This one was done pretty much all with W.H. Smith pencils and white gel pen. And I really enjoyed colouring this one. I love Joe Johnson's work with his little gnomes. Yeah, they're really cute. And it was fun to try and work out all these different colour combinations from a very small amount of pencils. I think the biggest set I had of those was like 48 at the time. But they were working really well on the paper. I really burnished, really pressed down, and got my colours looking really bright because that kind of went with the image, I thought. The little cheerful little gnomes, really bright colours, and yeah, I was really pleased with the way that one turned out, and eventually won a colouring book. So yeah, that one I am really happy with. Yeah, not much else I can say about that one, really. W.H. Smith pencils. The book is from Return of the Gnomes by Joe Johnson. Next one is, I think this is a freebie from Mariola Budak. This was one of my early attempts at colouring metal. I think again with the Xenicolor pencils. Yeah, October 19. I'm not sure if this one was for a contest or something like that, but it was definitely a freebie. Yeah, and I tried to keep the background mainly blues, greys and cool colours, and keep the fairies being really bright with the rainbow kind of. So it was supposed to be an iridescent effect on their wings, I think, but it ended up being more of a rainbow, which also fitted. So yeah, I went with that. And white gel pen, I did sparkles around them for the fairy dust floating around. And I tried to keep the butterfly white with just butterfly in the corner. Can we see that? Yeah, just a layer of glitter to make him a little bit shimmery. So we didn't overpower the fairies because they were supposed to be the really bright, colourful bits in the image. And yeah, another go at candlelight here. I was improving. It does look as if it's shining on the metal of that street lamp there. As I've said before, I really don't have much clue when it comes to colouring glass, so I just tried to make everything that was behind the glass, behind the street lamp, tried to make that a little bit duller in colour so it looked as if there was glass in front of it, and these white streaks showing the light glinting, glittering off the glass. Not sure I pulled that off, but yeah, that was quite a fun one to do, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Mariola Budek. Yeah, obviously it says on the top. Yeah, Mariola Budek, that one. And I think that one was a freebie. Okay, this next one is by Jashley, one of my favourite artists. This also was a colouring competition in Lost in Colouring, UK as it was at the time. And Jash gave us this image to colour in, and he particularly wanted it to be in vivid colours. So I did my best to make it pretty vivid. The roses being like fire, and her hair, it's supposed to look like a flame because that's what it reminded me of. So I did that in kind of the red, gold colours. There we go. Looks a bit better. The light is washing it out a little bit, but if I turn it off, it's too dark. So I'm trying to work with it. But yeah, her hair, I tried to make it look like a flame, flaming off into the distance there. And the scales on the snake, I tried to make with the white gel pen, make those look as if they were glittering in the light. Her bikini, I tried to give it a gold kind of colouring. Yeah, that's a Xenicolor gold pencil, which I, again, couldn't make to look very gold at all. But yeah, that one was quite fun. The background I just kept in shades of grey because I wanted the girl and the snake to really stand out. And yeah, this is one of my early attempts at doing freckly skin. I've gotten a bit better at that as well now, but yeah, again, red hair, green eyes, that's my go-to for people. And it fitted because she was supposed to be bright and vivid, so yeah, there we go, Jashley. Here we have another by Jashley. I do have quite a few of his in this folder because I was on his colouring team for his Facebook group for a time. And this is one of the images we had for that, being on his colouring team. We received a couple of images every month to colour in and post on social media and stuff. And this is one of the first ones I got. And this is November 19. I can't remember what it's called. It was one of his Inktober images, I think. And this one is printed on cheap watercolour paper. And it's got watercolour base, I think, for her shirt. Obviously the background is my the way I do watercolour kind of galaxy effect, which is super fun and easy. And the white gel pen stars. And yeah, the rest. This looks as if it could be when I got my first Arteza set because those flash colours look like the Arteza flash colours there. The printer was having a bit of a fit at the time and I had to work into her hair a little bit because it missed out a few places. So there's blue in her hair. I don't know if it's picking up on camera. Yeah, there's kind of a blue kind of speckling in her hair because the printer was having a mad half hour. Yeah, I realised afterwards this probably was supposed to be the Earth, but I've coloured it as the moon. It doesn't really matter. I think it works pretty well anyway. And there we go, my first one by Jashley. This next one is also Jashley. And this one I did with W.H. Smith pencils, I think. Yep. This is another one for his colouring team. My blending skills were a bit atrocious back in this time. I tried to make it blend from the dark red through red and orange and yellow, showing the glow coming from the top. I was quite pleased with my lighting effect I had going on with these silver pipes though, with the yellow glinting on the pipes there, coming down to the red, and then the blue reflecting off her kind of cyber suit she's got. Yeah, I was really pleased with how those pipes turned out. It's blending in the background, not so much, but yeah. I picked green for the butterfly to really stand out as a complementary colour to the red, so I think that works quite well. He's sparkling there as well. My white gel pen. I did go around these kind of bubbles, light modes, whatever they're supposed to be in the background with the white gel pen as well to try and make those stand out, so those work quite well. It's just that blending lets it down a little bit, but on the whole, yeah, quite pleased with that one as well. More Jashley, another for his colouring team, I think this one. I think this one might have been my Arteza pencils. Yeah, there's a lot of glitter glue on this one. There's gel pen and another attempt at doing glass. I'm not sure I'm getting much better, but yeah, the crystal shoe in the bottom there with white gel pen covering the lines. Try and make that look like it was glass or crystal. White gel pen for sparkles. The blending is a little bit better on this one, I will say, for this kind of twilight sky going on, and it definitely is the moon this time. That image is quite iconic, I think, but yeah, pretty much Arteza pencils, white gel pen, bit of glitter I think on that one. I think the butterfly could probably have stood out a little bit better from the background, but hey, yeah, that one was quite fun. Next, more Ashley again. There we go. This is another one from his colouring team. And for this one, I shamelessly stole from Elsa from Frozen, and I made my girl look like Elsa from Frozen because of the sky and because of the snow, rather. In the sky, I tried to do a kind of Northern Lights effect, and this was because it was my first time using Arteza watercolor pencils. I remember that. This must be when I first got them. And I tried to use them wet. I colour the sky and then go in with water and try and blend it all, but it wasn't working because I didn't really know what I was doing, and it ended up really streaky looking. So to fix that, I tried to do a sort of Northern Lights effect in the background. Yeah, there's some glitter glue to give her a bit of sparkle, and some washi tape. Let's see some washi tape I've put on her scarf there and her little socks. To give her that kind of icy looking vibe that I was going for. I did try and make my Northern Lights reflect onto the snow. A bit of pink and yellow going on in the snow there. I'm not sure Northern Lights even come in those colours, to be perfectly honest with you, but yeah, it seemed to work at the time. It was fun. It was super fun colouring this one. I tried to make my trees look like a silver birch because they were just plain trees, and I added these lines to try and make the bark look kind of silver birch like to keep the trees paler, put them into the background, tone in with the snow. So yeah, I added that myself. Yeah, that was a fun one to do. Another one by Ashley. There we go. Focus. Yep. This one was with watercolor. For most of this background, my kind of galaxy effect I have going on. I tried to make the colours reflect onto the clouds with the pink and yellow, and I still try and use that combo now because I really like how it works for clouds. The dragons here, yeah, I made into paler shades of the background so that they should hopefully stand out. The moon, I think I used gouache paint and tried to cover up the lines a little bit just to make it look as if it was shining behind the ninja dude there, and I gave him his red shirt to try and pick him out and make him stand out amongst all the backgrounds. So yeah, we have watercolor, white gel pen, there's glitter glue on the dragons. Yeah, you can see that there, glitter glue on the dragons. And this is before I got my markers, so yeah, no markers, watercolor and pencils on that one. There we go. The next one is another Christmas contest from Lost in Colouring Worldwide. I think this one is, this is a year on, 2020. This one was by Selena Fennick. And this is one of my first attempts at a bokeh background, and yeah, that didn't work very well at all. The blending is slightly better. I'm working on the blending skills, but yeah, trying to make this these circles into the background, that didn't work very well at all. I tried to make the ribbons look like shiny gold. I've used yeah, I've used a bit of gel pen, I think, try and outline his mane and his tail. There's some glitter marker on that parcel there. I can see some glitter marker, and that one, some glitter gel pen. But mainly I think that was the Arteza pencils. Yeah, that one. Pretty early one, that one, I think. But yeah, that one is by Selena Fennick. That was for a Christmas contest. Next, we're back to Ashley. This is another by Ashley for his colouring team, and this one was giving me a really kind of stormy looking vibe. So I added in his lightning in the background. This is all the blue in the background, the kind of stormy greys, that's gouache paint, and this black kind of silhouette of the city that's in the background there, that's black gouache paint. Yeah, I added the sky in paint and then tried to draw this lightning in. I'm not sure if that was with white gel pen, but yeah, the sky background, all gouache paint. Now this this is pencil, I think, the foreground. And yeah, I tried to keep the background kind of desaturated, kind of muted colours, and I gave the girl the brighter clothes and stuff to make her really pop out and stand out. And yeah, I gave the leaves orange leaves because yeah, it looked really stormy and kind of autumny to me, so I went with that. It was an early attempt at grass, I think, there with the pencils and the white gel pen. I could probably do that a lot better now, but back in the day, that was one of my better attempts at grass, I think, and it did keep in with the kind of stormy vibe of the picture. So, yep, that was another by Jash Lee. This one again is Maja Vandenberg. I'm not sure I'm saying that right, but her name is there on the bottom of the picture. This was another Christmas contest one for Lost in Colouring. I think this one might be W.H. Smith pencils with, yeah, there's some gold and some silver gel pens. There's silver on his antlers, gold for this framework going around there. I tried to keep it pretty limited palette, mainly with browns and golds for the reindeer, and bringing in a few pops of blue and green to give a bit of interest. So another Christmas contest one, which was actually extended towards the end of January, I think. So yeah, 22nd of January. It was extended because we needed more time to complete all the pictures because there was loads of them. There we go. This is another one coming up. This is from Kelly O'Gorman. There we go. This was Kelly O'Gorman's. There we go, Kelly O'Gorman. Her picture for the colouring contest over Christmas. And for this one, I stuck with doing my butterflies at orange. I always do my butterflies as monarchs, pretty much always. So I did those first and worked off that. And I thought doing a brown deer would be too much with orange butterflies. So I made my deer into an albino, or tried to. I gave him pink eyes, nose, inside of the ears, and then I thought, oh, pink flowers might tone in well with that. So I turned these, I'm not sure if they were supposed to be, but I turned them into dog roses. I gave them little pink edges, and I made my foxgloves pink as well because I thought purple would be, yeah, if it was just one little bit of purple in the middle of the picture, it just wouldn't look right. So yeah, that was Kelly O'Gorman for Lost in Colouring Worldwide. And this one, next one, is by Kinoko Agusa for the same contest, I think. Yeah, 26th of January 20. Yeah, this one was by Kinoko Agusa for the same contest. And for this one, I used Super Tips as watercolour. Like I've said before, by scribbling on the plate and picking up the colour to use in the background. And it gives quite a nice effect if you paint the colour as watercolour for the whole, like for a whole brick, and then drop water back on top of it. And it makes these lovely kind of splodgy patterns. I really love those kind of effects. Yeah, I think it was mainly the Super Tips. I might have gone into the animals with a little bit of pencil and worked on top of that, but I think that one was mainly, yeah, because it's all watercolour paper. Yeah, it was mainly these Super Tips being used as watercolour on that one there. I left the bows white because I thought there was a lot of colour going on in there anyway in the first place. So yeah, to make those stand out, I left them white. And I love Kinoko Agusa's little cute little animals. They're so fun. Alright, that one's by Kinoko Agusa for Lost in Colouring Worldwide. This next one is also by Lost in Colouring Worldwide. A contest by the artist Cami Ledbetter. And there was two options for this contest at the time. The other option was a more complicated image, which I thought at the time I really wouldn't have time for. So I went with the second option, which was these little bunnies, which are super cute, I think. And I practiced doing my fur. It's always nice to have a bit of practice doing fur. It didn't quite work out as well as I wanted it to. They do look super fluffy, but I think they look more like fluffy toys than actual bunny rabbits, but they were quite fun to do. This one, it might be W.H. Smith pencils, it might be Aries, to be honest, I couldn't tell you. I didn't write it down, did I? No, I didn't write it down, unfortunately. But yeah, it was fun doing this rainbow effect in the background because the the bunnies are black and white, so I thought I had a bit of colour, I'll do a rainbow in the background. So that seems to work quite well, I think. There's some gold and silver gel pen on the crowns there. And yeah, not much else to say about that one. It's by Cami Ledbetter for Lost in Colouring Worldwide. I think W.H. Smith pencils. Okay, coming up we have some more Jay Ashley, back from his colouring team. And this one, when I first received this image, it really reminded me of Avatar, the film Avatar. So I tried to stick with that kind of colour scheme, and I made tried to make the flowers and the butterfly and things look as if they're kind of glowing, because Avatar is big on the bioluminescence of all the nature on the planet. So yeah, I stuck with that. The background is watercolour and black gouache, I think. These are watercolour pencils, I think, are what I used on top for this one. Not sure if her hair is a base of watercolour, I couldn't tell you. It is printed onto watercolour paper, and I've cut it out and stuck it onto there probably because I was a bit messy with my edge lines, and yeah, it needed cutting out this February 20. Yeah, and this one was super fun. I do love Avatar, the film, and all the imagery that goes on in it, mainly with the plants and the animals. So yeah, I tried to make these lions look as if they were Pandora animals with the purple, blue stripes and all the kind of bioluminescent little dots. So yeah, that one was really fun, and I think she turned out really well, actually. She's one of my favourites. Okay, this one is from Jash Lee, from his colouring team again, and we had a choice of which design we could colour for this one, and I picked to colour Pisces. I think this one is Pisces, with the fish. I'm not well up on my zodiac symbols, but yeah, I'm thinking Pisces. Yeah, this one had some nice watercolour effects going on in the background, and I had a bit of fun by making these splashes by putting paint on and then blowing it with a straw to make these kind of splashes to lead off in the background there. Again, I had to trim it because this got a bit messy, but yeah, I trimmed it and stuck it onto paper. Again, I'm playing with the light effect and trying to make this orb look as if it's glowing onto the lady. It works okay, I think I'm getting better. The lady herself is painted with the gouache paint, and her hair. The flowers, I think, were watercolour pencil again. And this is me trying to work out a combination for gold. I tried to do a combination for gold for her armour and for the fish, which I'm quite happy with that. The patches were gold gel pen from the looks of it, though. And this was a combination I was working on for silver, but it looks more maybe steel or something, I don't know. But I wasn't too happy with that one anyway. I was a lot happier with the gold. And I like the way the flowers turned out. The white outlines to the petals, to make them stand out a little bit more, make it a bit more ethereal looking. So yeah, that was quite a fun one as well. That's by Jash Lee. Next we have one by Micah Jelena. There we go, it's Micah Jelena. Sweet Tooth, she's called. And this, I'm thinking, was Lost in Colouring Worldwide again, another contest, maybe by Micah herself. And I used it to do a one colour challenge, where somebody rolled, I think one of the admin rolled a wheel for me, and I landed on the colour purple, which is fantastic because purple's my favourite colour. So at the time, this is like every purple art supply I had, and I think this was, yeah, back when I first got my first set of markers, because we can see a alcohol marker there and here. So yeah, alcohol markers, like every set of pencils I had. There's glitter glue, the Dovecraft glitter glue in her hair, in purple. There's some gel pen, I can see gel pen there. Possibly all my purple pencils that I used for her skin. There's no base on her skin, this is just purple pencils. I think probably Gnome-colour, looking at them. I could be wrong. But yeah, the idea on her hair was to make her look like Harley Quinn, because my son said, oh, she looks like Harley Quinn. I thought, oh, okay. So one side is kind of a cool blue toned purple, and this side is more of a reddy purple to tie in with the Harley Quinn kind of idea. We do have a couple of stick-on crystals here as well, purple ones, kind of a pearly crystal up in the corner there. Yeah, so that one was cool. That's probably my first one colour challenge, I think. Yep, this next one is from Johanna Basford. I think this was a contest run by Johanna herself on her, either on her website or her Facebook or something, where the idea was to colour in this specific image from World of Flowers. Yep, from World of Flowers down there. And this is my attempt. Another go at doing a bouquet background, which I still hadn't got the hang of from the looks of it, but yeah. This one just mainly colour pencils, I think. There's some white gel pen, some gold gel pen, I think. Yeah, gold gel pen. Silver gel pen on this peacock kind of style in the window. And yeah, not much else on there. I can't remember what kind of pencils I used. Might have been Arteza by this stage, but this looks like it might be W.H. Smith's. This red kind of gradient on the roof. That could have been W.H. Smith's, actually. So yeah, sorry I can't remember. I didn't used to write down. This is 2020 again. Johanna Basford, that one. Not sure. There we go. That's a better look at the colours. Okay, another one by Jashley. There we go. This is another Zodiac design. This one is Aries. And this is the combination for gold that I use now. I settled on this and it works really well. I tried to keep her using warmer shades of colour because Aries is the goat. I tried to make her look more kind of like a fawn, sort of, or a deer. I drew the line on her nose, gave her like a little sheepy nose, like a goat. Kept her in the brownish range with gold and then blue for the background. Those could be Technicolor, actually, looking at those. This is Castle Art, so I'm pretty sure of that. That's my gold combo I use now. The rest of it, yep, pretty sure that's Technicolor in the background. This could be Arteza Watercolor, where I've added a little bit of water around the edges, and I'm a lot more confident with it now. I would have used a lot more water and spread that out, but yeah, it worked okay for the time. Is there any glitter? No, doesn't look to be any glitter. A bit of white gel pen. Yeah, she's one of my better efforts, I think, with the gold. Yeah, definitely with the gold. There we go. This one was another contest by Lost in Colouring Worldwide by Mardel Rubio. And this one was a 2-hour challenge that I set for myself because I had 2 hours left before the contest ended, and I challenged myself to try and finish the picture in time for the 2 hours, and this was my effort. Mainly watercolour, if not all, I think. Yeah, with a bit of white gouache splashed onto the background. I can see there that in that corner, the white splashed on in the background. Might be white gel pen for these stars, but pretty much all, I think, watercolour, that one. I do like the way I love these kind of watercolour, when watercolour stains and makes these kind of effects. I do love that, so I tried to play with that in the background a little bit. And down here it's worked really well as well. I do love it when it does that. But yeah, that was a really quick one. Like I said, 2 hours, and not bad for a 2-hour effort. Obviously, the picture deserved a lot more attention than that, but that was all the time I had. And I gave it my best go in the time that I had. So, yep, that one is by Mardel Rubio. Next, we have Hannah Lynn. And this one was printed out by accident onto just normal, this is printer paper. Typing paper as I call it, but that's showing my age a little bit. Just printed onto normal printer paper, and by accident I didn't really want to waste it, waste the paper and the ink, so I had to go at it with, yep, alcohol markers. This is my very first little set, I think. Yeah, I went at it with alcohol markers and just shaded a little bit on top with pencils. Gave her some white gel pen. There is gold and silver gel pen around her frame. Yep, the butterflies, yep, monarchs. That's probably where I started. Started with those and worked out from there to try and make everything look good with the butterflies. But yeah, being on normal typing paper, she didn't work out too badly, I will say. The gel pen has faded a little bit, I think. It doesn't look too bad on camera, but yeah, in real life, this gel pen has faded in her hair, which is a shame. But yeah, she still works pretty well, I think. That one, Hannah Lynn. Elizabeth from Victorian Darlings. It's a freebie, I think. If you subscribe to her newsletter or go on her website, I think there's a link to download a sampler of maybe about 12 images. I'm not sure if it's changed or if it's different than that, but yeah, you get a freebie sampler of different ones of her images, and this is one of those that I printed out by accident by trying to print out one of the other ones, but I thought, why not colour her in and not waste her. And there she is, that is Elizabeth. Okay, this next one is also from Lost in Colouring Worldwide, from a contest I had going on. I believe the artist was called Jamie T Illustration, I think. And this was quite fun to do because the picture itself was grayscale, and it did look as if it had been painted by watercolor with all these marks. They were there originally, kind of watercolor brush marks and stuff, and I just worked with that with my watercolors and added to it, and yeah, I tried to use my colors where the shading was and stuff like that, and grungified the background a bit by splashing the watercolor on. And yeah, he was super quick and he was really fun because I do love watercolors. Yeah, and I think he looks really cute. I added some little gems there in the background to give him a bit of sparkle, and why not? There's some gold paint on these leaves. I think that's gold gouache. There's some glitter. Can I make that? Yeah, there we go. He's a very glittery little sloth. But yeah, he was super fun and super quick. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing him. That's by Jamie T, if I remember correctly. If I don't, please add in the comments, correct me. I do want people to be acknowledged. But yeah, he was super fun. Here's some more Josh Lee now. There we go. This is another Josh Lee one. And this one is where Josh himself challenged us to use 3 colours on his image. So I think it was the yellow, the pink, and the blue. It could have been. Yeah, yellow, pink, and blue, I think that was. I used the blue and the pink together to make the purple, so I suppose I was cheating a little bit, but hey, it's my picture. I can colour it how I want to, right? I did use some glitter glue in the same colours. You can see it on the clouds. Yeah, it's sparkling a little bit on the clouds. Yeah, white gel pen, and just 3 colours of pencils. I'm pretty sure it was yellow, pink, and blue, if I'm remembering right. Again, it was a while ago, 2020. But yeah, another really quick one. And I do love Josh Lee's work, so yeah, I tried my hand at that little contest he had going on. To these little fishes. Okay. The next one, oh, it's very sparkly. There we go, refocus. This was another 1 colour challenge from a different Facebook group. And this is an image from a gallery, some sort of art gallery, where you can download images of actual famous art as line art and colour them in. The original artist is, see that, Paul Berthon, Art Nouveau artist. Yeah, and you could download these images to colour in for, I can't remember which art gallery, I'm sorry. I will try and look it up and leave it in the description if any of you want to have a go at any of these. But yeah, this is another purple 1 colour challenge. I'm not sure if I chose purple myself, but if I had the choice, I would choose purple, so maybe. And another where I used all my different purple art supplies. Yeah, this isn't quite as successful as I would have liked, and I remember this one because there is some purple glitter marker somewhere in this. I remember the pen exploded, I think I must have shook it too hard or something, and it exploded all over the edge of the paper. That's why it's cut out and mounted onto this glittery card, because the purple pen exploded. I can see the glitter pen, yeah, on the kind of fleur-de-lis in the corner. There we go. That's where the glitter pen was. But it did explode all over my paper, which was unfortunate. There's glitter glue, yeah. That's my darker Dovecraft glitter glue, the amethyst one there, along the edges of the wavy pattern in the back. And yeah, that was quite a fun one. I do love Art Nouveau. Oh yeah, stick-on crystals we've got, yeah, for our headdress there. Everything else, pencils, marker, and the glitter marker that betrayed me by exploding. But yeah, she worked out quite well, apart from this pattern across the top, which I'm not happy with, but the lady herself, yeah, I think she turned out really well. Alright, this next one is by Selena Fennick. And this was back when I was doing the treasure hunt challenge, and I've mentioned that a couple of times, I do know that, and I haven't mentioned that it was a treasure hunt run by Dani Buttons off of YouTube, the colouring scavenger hunt. I did do a couple of series of that. I think she has about 4 series of it now, but this is one of those series of a scavenger hunt challenge, and that was for a pumpkin. It must have been around Halloween time, I'm guessing, but yeah, the challenge was for a pumpkin, and this is what I ended up colouring. Yeah, and I copied this from Selena's colouring book, put it onto the watercolour paper, and yeah, I used watercolour for the background. There's glitter glue on her little corset there, and I tried to bring in the I'd start up here with a normal nighttime sky colour and kind of fade down into the orange and green kind of Halloween colours that I was using for this. There's white gel pen, watercolour. This, yeah, that would have been Arteza pencils by that point, I think. Glitter glue, and that's about it really, but yeah, there we go, that one's by Selena Fennick. This one is super fun, but it is a little bit gory, so look away if you're offended by zombies. There we go. This one is glaring a lot. There we go. That's a little bit better. This one is by Alan Robert. I'm sure some people will recognise his style from Ghost of Christmas, I think this one was. And I scanned it in and blew it up bigger because the Ghost of Christmas is a little book. It's barely half that size. And I thought I wanted to have a better go at it, so I blew the picture up. I used... it could have been a mixture of Arteza and Castle Arts by this point. And I tried to make this frame look as if it was copper that was kind of corroding into this kind of verdigris effect here around here, which I really love how that turned out. I did write down my combos for that, so hopefully I can get it to work again. This was another for Dani Buttons Scavenger Hunt Seek and Find Challenge. This one was for Santa. And as I've said before, I'm not much of a Christmas colourist, so I don't have many books with Santa in them. And this one was what I found. And yeah, my Santa is a zombie from Alan Roberts' Beauty of Horror, Ghost of Christmas. This background is gouache paint, I think. These snowflakes are some stickers that I got. I found in a pack of crates of craft supplies in a charity shop I snaffled up, and those stickers were in there, these little snowflakes, and I've used them a few times. I think they were really nice. I need to find them online somewhere because I love them. The rest are Castle Arts Arteza pencils. He's got some glitter glue around the edges of his beard on these bits here. White gel pen. There is, yeah, the crystal colour glitter glue for his glasses as well. Try and make those look a bit more like glass. And once I'd finished him, I cut him out and I made this background out of scrapbook paper. You can see it's a bit patched together on the back there with a bit of paint stain. But yeah, I patched it together to make it look as if it was a frame hung on the wall in like an old haunted house or something like that. So yeah, and I splashed some red paint for a bit of a gory effect. I think I added these kind of drops onto there as well to to kind of give it a bit more of a horror kind of looking effect. But yeah, I really like him, and I think Alan Robert commented on that one on Instagram as well, which really made me chuffed. So yeah, that is my zombie Santa. And this next one, yeah, do you remember? This is the artist's name, Steve Samsara from stevesamsara.com. Can I? There we go. I don't know if you can read my writing, but yeah. Way back in the beginning of lockdown, a few years ago, Steve actually gave away some of his colouring pictures as freebies, so I snaffled them up. And I've had them on my computer for a while, and this is one of them. Again, for Dani Buttons Colouring Scavenger Hunt, and I think this one was for forest animals or something along those lines, and I picked this one because of the fox, and there was also a snake, which I didn't know would if that would count as a forest animal or not, but I went for it and had some fun with this. And I tried to make the background go from like night time in this corner to match with the old lady, and then down into like kind of sunrise colour for the young lady in the corner. I believe it's meant to represent the maiden, mother and crone from pagan kind of mythology. I'm not sure though, but she was fun to colour and try and make each skin tone look different. I'm not sure how well yeah, you can see they do look different a little bit there. Doing all these wrinkles was, yeah, really fun, and I love colouring skulls, so yeah, that's an extra bonus. And for once, my butterflies are not orange. I thought the orange would take away a bit too much from my fox, which was supposed to be the focus, so that my butterflies are blue, which tones in more of the background. So that's about the only time you'll ever see me colour a butterfly that's not orange. So yeah, I did enjoy colouring this one. I tried to make a really kind of feathery effect there with the pencils, a white gel pen, Arteza Castle Arts. There's some gold gel pen on the snake there to make him look a bit shiny. The rest of it, yeah, watercolor for the background. I think I drew in these clouds with my, oh, can you see? Drew in these clouds with the pencils there at the bottom for the daytime sky. And yeah, the rest of it, Castle Arts Arteza white gel pen. This is another from Josh Lee this was for a contest on Facebook, I think, where he gave this image for free. This is from his Gothic Ladies collection, I think. He gave this image for free for a contest, and yeah, this is my attempt. There is a bit of marker looking there for the black in her hair, the feathers, and a few bits. Yeah, I worked on top with pencil. Her skin has no base, that's just pencil. Her clothes, just pencil. The background is gouache paint, which I've splattered with black. It's kind of a burgundy colour that I've splattered with black and gone with a grungy effect because these ladies are Gothic ladies, so I thought maybe that might fit in a little better, although she does, yep, she does sparkle on her eyelids there a little bit. I don't usually do makeup, but I did try here. I'm not sure how well it turned out. Might be a bit over dramatic, but yeah, she is Gothic and it matches the theme. I'm pleased with how the flowers turned out with the white outlines, making them look a little bit more delicate to kind of contrast with the black and the heavy colours. But yeah, I think she turned out pretty well. Quite a limited palette on that one, I think. But it does work quite well for this Gothic lady with her raven wings. Looking pretty cool then. Next one is another Hannah Lynn. If I remember right, this was for Dani Buttons Scavenger Hunt again. Yeah, this one was for a lady with a hat. And this is the one I was printing out when I accidentally printed out the other Hannah Lynn earlier. And so yeah, I printed this lady out with a hat and kept it to green, purple, pink. And this is from the Steampunk Darlings. So the background is steam, which is kind of grey and monochrome. So I wanted her to be pretty colourful and stand out. So there we go. This is another attempt at a freckly skin. You can see I gave her freckly skin, which I think looks super cool. I do love freckly skin, it's awesome. I stuck on some crystals there. I can't remember if I drew that pattern or if it was there already, but I toned it all in with the purple and the green. Yeah, I think I did this one with the Zodiac pencils, white gel pen. and the stick-on crystals. Yeah, for the treasure hunt by Dani Buttons. Oh, a little bit of gel pen. I'm not sure if that's gold or silver. I think it might be silver for her buckle and the key and her goggles, obviously. And I didn't even attempt to do glass there for some reason. But yeah, she's really pretty cute. That one was by Hannah Lynn. And next we have Kanoko Agusa. This is for another, I think this is the next year. Yeah, 21. This is the next year's Christmas colouring contest on Lost in Colouring Worldwide. And this one was by Kanoko Agusa. Yep, her little contribution for that contest. Yep, complete marker background on this one. This is, that would be the Touch Cool markers. Yeah, and just worked over with my Castle Arts and Arteza pencils. And I tried to keep it kind of pretty earthy looking tones on this one for the little mice preparing for Christmas there. Pretty natural and earthy. I added the snow on the window. That wasn't there originally. I added the snow to make it a bit more Christmassy and make them look nice and cozy in their little mouse hole there. And yeah, it was quite interesting trying to cope with all the little tiny elements in this one, because I don't usually do pictures that are so cluttered with all crockery and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a bit of an experience for me. Oh, I think I added these kind of cracks into the wall, plaster in the wall there as well, looking at it. But yeah, just markers, pencils, white gel pen, I think. Yep. Yeah, definitely the white gel pen for the fur on the mouse there. Super cute. I do love Kanoko Agusa, but there we go. Next one. This one is from... Oh, that black paper is really shiny. I'll try and hold him up a little bit. There we go. This one is from Dreams of Dragons and Dragonkin by, I believe you pronounce it Raven Feeling. This was one of the little pictures that I copied out, because Raven Feeling's books are made by the same people as Jasmine Beckett Griffith, and every now and then there's a page that has 4 little pictures on it, and this is one of those that I scanned in and printed out onto bigger paper. I did look up her original artwork to try and see what she'd done with this one, and this is one of the versions of this that I found. There were a couple, but this is the one that I liked, and I tried to replicate that as best that I could. There's marker base in quite a lot of it, I think. And then Castle Arts Arteza pencils. The background could have paint on it. It could be gouache paint in the background there. There's glitter glue in the background. What was the glitter glue in the background? I'm not sure, but yeah, there is a little bit of glitter glue in the background and starry background. He's got stick-on crystals. There we go, that looks a little bit better. Stick-on crystals that I tried to make look glowing there. But yeah, I don't usually do very well when I try to copy someone else's version of a picture, but I think this one is quite successful, and I really did like her original. So yeah, that is from Dreams of Dragons and Dragonkin by Raven Feeling, and yeah, I'm super pleased with that one. Okay, next we have a few from Darren Hoff, I think his name was, and his Instagram handle was End of the West. He's actually got an Etsy store as well called End of the West, and he's got some pictures of like country blues, those kind of singers, and he got in touch with me on Instagram and he asked me whether I'd like to colour some of his pictures for him, kind of as a collaboration and advertising each other kind of thing, you know. And this is one of the ones he sent me first, Muddy Waters, and he was quite fun to colour in. I added this kind of shape in the background because I looked at Muddy Waters' original concert posters from back in the day, and this kind of thing appeared in the concert posters, so I went with that, and I did my kind of parchmenty style background with chalk pastels in the background there. I added sorry, not the camera. I added these corduroy kind of stripes onto his trousers. I added those in. He has got, yeah, marker background on a few bits there for his trousers, his hair, this bit of the background, his guitar. And I went on top of that with my Castle Arts and Arteza white gel pen. Nope. There might be a bit of gold gel pen on his ring. But apart from that, yeah, it was quite fun to do actually. There we go. And this is another from End of the West, Robert Johnson. And for this one, I looked up Robert Johnson online and I did see a mural of him painted onto a wall somewhere, if I'm remembering correctly. So I thought, oh, that would be cool, try making graffiti. So I drew in the bricks on the background. You've probably seen me do that before with a Dashley picture, but yeah, I drew in the bricks on the background and I tried to give him some drips to try and make it look like this had been painted onto the wall. I kept the shading really kind of simple, almost like cell shading. So again, to bring that kind of graffiti, kind of street art style into it and make him look like he was painted on the wall. And yep, I did a marker background on his guitar on the back there, and the circle for End of the West in the bottom. I kind of jazzed up my signature a little bit as if I was tagging a wall there in the bottom. And yeah, I'm not sure which pencils these are. They could be W.H. Smith pencils, if I'm remembering right. But yeah, I tried to make, you'd have to come pretty close to see some kind of scratch marks. You can see it in the letters and texture to make it look like it was painted on the bricks. And yeah, I kept this shading pretty kind of simple, as if it was stenciled onto the wall. And I think that works quite well. There we go. Alright, the next one is by Dan Vaughan Z. And this was a free colouring page from Colouring Heaven. You can see a little bit at the bottom. Colouring Heaven Mystical Beauty Special. But this was a free download, and I took it into an art program and I made it a bit lighter because it was grayscaled originally, and I don't work with grayscale super much. I'm a bit better with it now, but I don't work with it that much. So I kind of made it a lot lighter so that the grayscale wasn't as obvious, and then I worked on top with that. She's got a marker base for Alice. I'm presuming her to be Alice from Alice in Wonderland. For Alice has a marker base, the flowers and the stems. This background here is watercolor, I think. Yep, that's watercolor. Yeah, worked on top Castle Arts Arteza. There's some white gel pen. I added like a splodge of blue behind this little ladybug in the sky because he looked a bit separate up there on his own. So yeah, I gave him a little bit of sky to tie him into the rest of the image. And yeah, I love this picture. The image itself is my favourite colouring picture ever. I'll probably end up colouring it again. I do have the book that it's actually from now, so yeah, I'll probably end up colouring it again. But yeah, I do love that picture. Yeah, that is Dan Vaughan Z. This is another from End of the West. This is Rose Maddox from End of the West. She's, I think there might be marker base. Yeah, a lot of marker base there. Her shirt, down her hair. And I tried to make it look a bit retro, kind of maybe 60s or something with this one. This is a piece of card that I've cut out, craft card, and the colour really matched in, so I thought, yeah, I can use that. I cut that out, stuck it on, shaded it a little bit to look like a hat. This is also paper collage, the stars. I was thinking along the lines of, stars and stripes. I thought that might match with that quite well, but yeah, that works quite well. She's kind of pastel-y to be kind of retro 60s looking. Here I just matched the colour of the scrapbook paper, matched it as closely as I could with marker, and just gave her a bit of shadowing there. This is gold, could be gold Sharpie. Yeah, that's gold Sharpie on her name there. Yep, and just shaded on top with my pencils. I give her some crystals for her earrings for a bit of a bling. But yeah, I think she looks super cool. I love that colour palette. Really retro. And the next one is another End of the West, and I can't for the life of me remember this guy's name. It was written on there, but obviously I've covered it up with all the collage. So Hank, I didn't write it down. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, there is a lot of collage in the background there, cut out and stuck onto the brown, as you can see. This is also gold card. And I tried to make it look as if it was a sun or a light of some sort by doing these rays of light with chalk pastel behind him. He did have a lot of, yeah, this is marker base for his hat and his clothes, definitely. I might have, yeah, I think I even marker based his skin as well, and just worked on top of him with my Castle Arts and Arteza pencils. I tried to keep him pretty kind of sepia and brown, like an old photograph maybe, with just the glints of gold and like the cream to give a bit of interest. And then, yep, there's white gel pen. I tried to add a bit of wood grain texture onto his guitar. The microphone is supposed to look like a metallic. A bit of an attempt was made. And yeah, that's another one from End of the West. I will link his, I will find his Etsy store and link it in the description. Okay, this next one is from Deborah Muller. This was from a contest in another Facebook group, but it is actually a freebie, I think. I downloaded it as a freebie. Did I? Yeah, there's a lot of marker base going on there. Her hair, skin, roots, the leaves around the frame. There's some blue as well on the flowers. And I've worked on top of that with Arteza Castle Arts. There's some little crystals to give her hair a bit of sparkle. There's glitter glue on the hummingbird and the dragonfly. Yeah, got those glittering for you. The rest of it is just some pencils on top of the markers. And yeah, that one was, yeah, all this was quite complicated. It took quite some time to do all those roots down there, but I just do think it looks really good when it's done. I did try and give a bit of effect of this light shining down here in this corner with the white gel pen. I kind of exaggerated that a little bit more, but yeah, it is lighter around here where the light is shining, darker here in the shadows. And yeah, that was my first colouring by Deborah Muller, actually. And yeah, I really quite enjoyed that one. There you go, that is from Deborah Muller. It's called New Beginnings. Okay, the next few are some that I've drawn myself, so if you're not interested, if you don't want to see those, then turn off now. But yeah, this is the first one that I did. I drew this one myself and coloured it in. This one, yeah, it has a little bit of marker base on the deer, on his antlers and his hooves and his chest, kind of mane there. The rest is pencils, Castle Arts and Arteza. The background is my watercolor galaxy effect that I do like to do. I tried to make his wings look kind of golden, and there's white gel pen on his legs there, going around the spots. Yeah, pencils, white gel pen. This one is another one that I drew myself. I think the guy has marker base for his tattoo on his chest. The rest of him is Arteza and Castle Arts. Again, the glare. There we go, that's a little bit better. He's got some crystals stuck onto his jewellery there for a bit of sparkle. There we go. And I kept the colours kind of red and blue and yellow to maybe emulate kind of Egyptian art, I was hoping. Yeah, he was really fun to do. This is the next one, and another one I've drawn myself. This is one with mostly marker base over most of it on the back there. Her hair, skin, her shirt, coffee cup. The background is pencil. That's one of my better attempts at a bokeh background going on. I tried to keep a pretty limited palette with red and green to kind of contrast together. The rest of it I kept pretty neutral, so the red and the green would be the main focus. Again, it's my go-to of green eyes, red hair. Her headscarf is paper collage, which I did by tracing this headscarf shape onto scrapbook paper, and then cutting it out and sticking it on, and then adding in these lines which were on the original drawing, shading it a little bit so it looks like a headscarf there. I just thought this pattern really toned in with the colours that I'd already used, so it all looks pretty good all together. Yep, gave her the freckly skin, one of my better attempts at freckly skin as well. And there we go. Next, and the ones I've drawn myself, here we go, we have this one, which I've printed out onto a brownish paper. It's not tone tan paper, it's from one of my sketchbooks which has 3 shades of paper in it, but I wanted to try colouring on a different shade of paper, so I printed this one out onto the brown paper, and the hopes was I could try and make this moth look as if it's glowing. And I think it works pretty well with this brown paper in the background because the white really shows up on top of that. There's some more paper collage on this one, her headscarf again, and this time I cut out the shape of the scarf, mainly because I tried colouring it in and I messed it up, it went terrible. So I cut out the shape and I stuck the paper behind, as you can see. Then I shaded it with the lines that were already on the original. I tried to copy them over, shaded it, added this glint of light there, and yeah, that was my main focus on this one, is to make this moth look as if it's glowing. That's why the light effect is around this edge of her face, and I tried to make it go a bit darker into the shadows down here with the less highlights, the darker colours. It's Castle Arts Arteza pencils, white gel pen. Yeah, I think that could be a gold gel pen as well on her earring there with a bit of shading on top. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with how that turned out for that, my first attempt at colouring on non-white paper. And last but not least, this is one you may have seen in my October finished pages video, the last one that I've drawn myself. She also has a marker base over most of her. Her hair, her skin, her outfit, her corset there, the feathers on her headdress, and working on top with the Castle Arts and the Arteza pencils. She does have some glitter glue on her flowers. Yeah, you can see it in the light there. Yeah, a little crystal there for her piercing. And the background is the parchment effect with chalk pastel that I've rubbed in with my finger to create this kind of yellowed effect around the edges of the paper and to make it look a bit more grungy, which I think goes really well with any kind of Gothic image. This is gold, either gouache or acrylic. I think this might be gouache paint, which I've thinned down a little bit and splatted on to give a bit of texture in the background, which I think, like I said, I think it works well with any kind of Gothic image. And there she is, that's my Gothic girl. And that's all from my folder of finished PDFs. I'll leave her there for something to look at. Any links that I've mentioned, I'll try and put in the description if I can find them. And yeah, thank you for watching. Hope to see you again in future videos. Bye!